Hello everyone, welcome to Monterey Regional Airport on this late afternoon, and we'll be going down south to John Wayne International Airport in the Santa Ana region of Southern California. Now, right now we're starting over by the General Aviation Terminal on the north side of the airport, and we're going to be taking the A2A 172 out today. This is based on the Cessna 172, and it's a great trainer done by A2A who puts a lot of detail into their aircraft. So it's had been over a year since I've had this plane on the channel, actually, and that made me want to fly it and get a video out because it had been a while. I'd flown it around a little bit, and but not doing anything too much, just doing some pattern work with it. So we're going to check the engines. It says the spark plugs are pretty badly fouled, so we're going to replace those. And that can happen from not leaning the mixture when you're taxiing on the ground. And oftentimes after I land, I do forget to lean them out. I remember to lean them on the way out of an airport, but usually on the way in, I haven't been thinking about that. That's just not on my radar of things to think about, because the other aircraft you fly, you're not usually worried about that. But I got to remember to do that from now on. So we ran the compression test. It looks pretty good. We're just gonna, like I said, change the plugs, and everything should be good. This is what's nice about this aircraft, is it can really teach you how to operate and take care of a Cessna 172 in real life. I mean, it allows you to do a full walk around, maintain the engine, and kind of understand why you need to do certain things with the aircraft to keep the engine and everything running good. Alright, got the yoke back on. I'm going to leave our window open for now, but the door is shut. Check the parking brake. That is set. Our flight controls are free. Go ahead and get the battery on. Don't need the dome light. Don't want that on either for the start. You can short things out by having lights on. So we'll get the beacon light on. That is one light you can have on. Let everybody know you have power to the aircraft. Alright, get the fuel pump on, the mixture full rich. Hold it for about 3 seconds. Take it out. Fuel pump off. And we'll kick the engine over to mixture full rich. And we'll keep the throttle a little bit. Sometimes a little movement on the throttle. Then we're going to let it rest at 1,000 RPMs, and then I'll lean out the mixture just a little bit all on the ground. Now we can get the avionics on. Sounds pretty cool, all that stuff starting up. So we'll be using the GPS today on part of this route. We're going to hand fly it in the beginning, but eventually we'll go to Autopilot, because this will be a 3-hour flight. And get the radio stack on. We already got it on C172. We got to change that. We got our taxi line on, the navigation light. We'll leave the landing lights and the strobes off just for a moment. And we're going to make our way over to 10 right, which is right near us. We just have to kind of go on this road course of taxiways to get there. Could cheat and cut across, but you know, it's just it's more fun to do it the proper way. And that just leads us here. And like I said, we're by the north side of the airport, the General Aviation Terminal. And that's where we're departing out of today. Got a little bit of overcast to go through. We'll be going up to 9,000 feet. We're going to go direct to the Big Sur VOR, BSR, once we depart. We're going to turn left, fly over the airport, and get onto our route from that way. This is Orbx scenery. Orbx does Monterey Regional Airport. It's pretty good. Pretty nice airport. I have a lot of this stuff from this region, around this area. I have my 172 parked in Monterey, so I figured taking on down to Santa Ana. Maybe I'll move it over to, I think my goal is to get it over to Eagle County pretty soon. And hopefully fly in some snow or something. So maybe from here I'll move it to Arizona, Eagle County. Alright, so 10 right is just ahead here. Let's hold short. Do our final checks. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and line up on 10 right. This airport reminds me a little bit of Santa Ana. Just with the two parallel runways, the big and the small, just remind me of how they're set up over there. Our speed is alive. Looking for 55 knots. 55 and 60. Rotate. And we'll pitch right now for about 80 knots. We're going to fly straight ahead and start to make our left. We're going to fly part of the downwind and then we're just going to cross over the airport. We're on VATSIM right now, but nobody's controlling the area. Now, I could go straight to the right, but there's mountains over there and I want to get above them a little bit, which is why we're just going to do this circle around. Like I said, we're going directly to Big Sur, so just want to gain a little bit of altitude, especially with a cloudy day like this. We would most likely be going to IFR, but we don't have anybody to kind of guide us to IFR, and there's not too many options for departures out of Monterey. Or there might be more departures than I'm thinking of. That could be the Charles Schultz Airport in Sonoma. Either this or Monterey, one of the two. We're very limited with the departures. Got the Northern California Orbx installed as well, which goes nicely with these airports. So our cruising altitude today, if I did not mention it, will be 9,000 feet. And that'll bring us down the coast. And later on we'll be doing We might be doing the OC arrival. Flight time will be 3 hours. Now I am running prepared version 4.4. I didn't notice too much of a difference with it, but I am running it now. And there goes Monterey right below us. We're just trying to get the aircraft trimmed off a little bit. We're just going to fly with that. Just got to be careful with the mountains ahead. And I'll actually get to use the autopilot in this. I haven't used it too much. Right now we have it set for the navigation, but we will be switching over to GPS later and flying on the flight plan on the GPS, which will be nice. And I haven't really done too much of that with the 172 here. But like I said, from Santa Ana, we will head east and try to get it into Eagle County, because I feel like at the speed you have to fly this aircraft, you know, the low and slow demeanor of it is would be great to do that approach. So that's what I'm gonna have to plan. Other than that, probably got some 717 action coming soon. Trying to find more routes to do with it. Need to look up some old routes too, if I can find some. And now, as you can see here, we're starting to go through the clouds. Now, this shouldn't last long. We're going to pop out fairly shortly. But it's a nice effect to slowly enter the clouds like this. Kind of see everything, all of them pass around you. Just starting to climb through 5,000 feet. We're climbing at about 1,000 feet per minute, but we need to trim down a little bit. I want to keep it at 80 knots, at least. I'm starting to get some sunlight, which means we're about to break through this. We won't be above it, and that should be nice. And then we're breaking through the clouds, and I was wondering, I don't know what happened to that effect. There was an effect for a while, and I don't remember if it was Active Sky or if it was Rex putting it out, but there would be this wisp effect as you went through the clouds, and I hadn't seen that effect happen in a long time. So I'm not sure if something got turned off or what's happening there. Here we are in the back as the passenger. having a look at the overcast cloud. The fires seem to have cleared up, which is nice. This area, I think the campfire is 100% put out. And there's been some rainstorms, so that's helped a little bit. Starting to get snow in the area and rain. And there it is, November 727 for Hotel. And here we are leaving all of that mess. And we have one more patch, small patch, just ahead. And then it should be pretty clear. It's going to be a clear evening in the SoCal area. I always remember I could put the headphones in, but I like to take them out. It's just, I like the raw sound of the aircraft. And then in post-production I can always turn the volume down as loud as, or you know, as quiet as I want. Yeah, it's pretty nice to transition out of these clouds into these mountains and get to see them nice and slow like this. You really, you know, you do these flights for the view, really. Because with all these aircraft in our repertoire, you know, this one's definitely for the view. And it looks good, too, the inside of the aircraft while you fly it, which also helps. Further along, the sun is starting to set. It's at the very beginning of that. And we're pretty much halfway through the trip. Wind's been calm. We haven't really dealt with anything too choppy along the way, so that's been nice. Seems to be a clear day to do this flight. I put it off for a while because the weather. I like to do it with the real world, real-time weather, and that was holding me back for a while. But yeah, I couldn't really ask for a nicer day. I like to have a little bit of clouds out there. I guess the visibility could be a little better. As you can see, the sun is starting to set as we're back here in the passenger seat again. Trying to get some footage. So we should have a nice approach that's right in the middle of light and dark, so it'll certainly be dusk by the time we get over to Santa Ana. And as you can see down here to our left, we're going to start crossing the Santa Monica area and into Los Angeles. We'll be flying over LAX at 9,000 feet. So we'll get to look down and see that. LAX here, and we are on VATSIM, so that's somebody down there. I'm not sure who, but they're out there on the taxiway. Frames are getting a little choppy out here. It is FS Dream Team LAX, and for some reason my scenery out here doesn't like to load in too good. The squares don't all load in. I'm not sure what's causing it. But I'm not too keen on spending too much time investigating it, because, you know, that's sometimes not too fun to do. Spend more time troubleshooting problems than actually flying the sim. So, we're sped ahead a little bit. We are going to start making our approach. Santa Ana is just off to our 12 o'clock right there. And we're going to start descending from 9,000 feet. Right now we're holding 9,000. We're basically on the downwind. We're going to vector ourselves out a little bit and start descending for about 3,000 feet. And then we'll come back around and fly the approach. Alright, the sun has set a little more. It's starting to look really nice out, with the plane textures and the lights out there. And right now we're turning right base for 20 right. Got the approach lights in the sight. There's nobody coming in and out of the airport right now. Oh, that's him. When doing flights in a plane like this, you really get to take in your approaches too, because you fly those even slower than you would at cruise, so you get to see every little thing. I think the lighting on here is nice too, which makes it cool for night flights. You can also light up the gauges. I'm not using that right now. I don't really like the way that looks, but I do like the light that's on the glare shield coming down onto the gauges. I really like that effect. And to turn that on, it's located to the, if you look at the yoke, directly to the right and a little bit below. It's one of the two knobs there. Both those knobs will give you some light. And then the dome lights, of course, are on the, towards your back, on the roof. Don't have any of the traffic on right now. I have it all turned off. Kind of looks like there's cars in the distance, you know, when you see the kind of the glittering effect of it, but I have it all turned off. It looks pretty, but I'd rather have more frames on the approach than looking at cars, because then by then it just starts to defeat the purpose. If I'm worried about cars and not the quality of the flight, it's just defeating the purpose of the whole thing. But it is nice to have traffic, I will say. X-Plane 11 has a great night-looking traffic. The whole night looks great. And there will be more X-Plane 11 coming soon. There hasn't been X-Plane 11 on the channel in a long time, but that will be coming soon. I'm pretty good with the 737-800, so the Zibo mod, which should be no problem. Get that installed and be able to use that right away. At least that's like mod a new aircraft or something that I would have to learn. So Zibo mod, and then, you know, I like the glass Cessna 172 they have on X-Plane 11. That looks really good. we'll fly that and the other one, all sorts of things. I'm getting track IR soon, so that'll be good. I was hoping it was going to go on sale for Christmas, but it didn't. Looks like it never does. And we're just establishing ourselves now on the 2-0, right. Some of the airports still loving me. If you want to know what I'm using for my sky textures, everything I'm using is Rex Texture Direct with soft clouds. That's where I get my sky colors from. I haven't really moved into tomato shade or anything. I think I got PTA running on the old Matt Davies preset. I think that's still running. I haven't messed with it ever since I installed it, so I don't know. I think maybe Rex overwrites a lot of that, so I'm probably not even using it anymore. I'm probably just mainly using Rex Texture Direct. I haven't really established right on the glide slope, but in a plane like this, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I mean, if you look at how slow you approach, I mean, you got time to correct it. I just couldn't get it down. But for my level of vision, it looks like it's right where it needs to be. I mean, I feel like if I was any lower, but that's not what the PAPI lights are saying. But they're not always there. Those things are not always there to, you know, follow directly all the way through. Also has to do with your eye level and things like that. I just feel like from any lower, that'd be a problem. Coming down through 800 feet. Currently 80 knots, we're going to slow it down. Passing 500. Still showing us a little high, but we're going to correct it right here. Well, that's one way to do it. It was a 287 feet per minute landing rate. Looks like a little gust picked us up on the round out. I did pattern work with this aircraft recently, and I had the pattern was really good. The landings had every one of them. The round out was really nice. Might have just been I had good luck with the weather. But yeah, this is an aircraft where if you don't fly it for a while, you're gonna be rusty with it. But that wasn't too bad. Stuck the center line pretty good. Just rounding out could have been a little bit. At least I got the stall horn. Just I think a little bit too much on it, but halfway decent landing, not too bad. We're gonna taxi over to our terminal here and take a look at these replays. Yeah, I think I just got a little jumpy with it. A little bit of a bounce. This aircraft will make you pay with the sounds, at least. The way it, a lot of times it looks a lot better than it sounds. But that was pretty stiff. Now, as you can see here, it got a little darker. As I do the replays, the time changes. So, I mean, you could always switch it back a little bit, but I left it dark. Yeah, as you saw, we landed with a little bit of sun out, and it wasn't quite this dark. There's our turn over here. We'll go ahead and park straight across from this guy. Let's get everything turned off here. We'll turn the dome light on. I can't find it because of the darkness, so I'm gonna have to hit the lights button, which turns all the lights on. We can easily turn all those off. Beacon can stay on. Get all the avionics off. Just get them one by one and then turn the main button off. Should have leaned the mix. See what I mean? I forget to lean the mixture after landing. But look, we didn't taxi too far. Got the mixture and the throttle. Everything should be coming off. Thank you everybody for watching another Fly Sim Deck video. Much appreciated. I'll see you guys on the next one. You take care.